కేస్ కూడా దీంట్లో కలిసి పనిచేస్తే బాగుంటుంది అని ఒక గవర్నమెంట్ ఆదేశాలు వచ్చాయి. ఆ ఆదేశాలకు అనుగుణంగానే మేము యూజీ ఆనర్స్ వరకు 4 ఇయర్స్ కోర్స్ పెట్టాం. ఇది లాస్ట్ ఇయర్. నెక్స్ట్ మేము పీజీలోకి పెడతాం. పీజీ 1 ఇయర్ అంటే 4+1. ఆ 1 ఇయర్‌లో ఇంటిగ్రేటెడ్ సిలబస్ చేయమని చెప్పారు. అది 2 సెమిస్టర్లు ఆ క్రెడిట్స్‌ని బట్టి మేము ఏర్పాటు చేస్తాం. మన జయరాములు గారు వారి సారథ్యంలో ఇదంతా కూడా చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాం. దానికి అంగంగానే మేము ఇక్కడ అఖిల భారతీయ విజ్ఞాన సమ్మేళనం అంటే ఇంతకు ముందు ఉండేటువంటి ఇండియన్ సైన్స్ కాంగ్రెస్ దానికే ప్రతిరూపంగా ఏన్షియంట్ నాలెడ్జ్ మీద కొంచెం మనం ఫోకస్ పెట్టాలని శ్రీ జయరాములు గారికి నిజంగా అభినందిస్తున్నాను. మనందరి తరఫున వారికి స్వాగతం తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. ఇందులో ముఖ్యంగా ఐకేఎస్ విషయంలో చాలా మంచి నాలెడ్జ్ ఉన్నటువంటి లజపతి రాయ్ గారు, వీరు మా సంస్థ అయినటువంటి వాల్మీకి రీసెర్చ్ సెంటర్కి నిర్దేశకులుగా అంటే డైరెక్టర్గా పనిచేస్తున్నారు. వీరి వ్యూ కూడా చాలా అద్భుతంగా ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఒక రామాయణంని సెంట్రలైజ్ చేసి వారు ఎన్నో రూపొందించారు. ఇలాగే మన భారతీయ ఏన్షియంట్ టెస్ట్ నుంచి కూడా వారికి అవగాహన ఉంది. వారు నేటి విషయం గురించి చాలా డీటెయిల్డ్గా మనందరికీ కూడా తెలియజేస్తారు.
సంప్రతి అహం ప్రొఫెసర్ लजपति राय महोदयान् संप्रार्थये। एते फॉर्मर वाइस चांसलर ऑफ डॉक्टर BR अम्बेडकर यूनिवर्सिटी श्रीकाकुलम एवं अस्माकं विश्वविद्यालयस्य वाल्मीकि रिसर्च सेंटर इत्यस्य डायरेक्टर निदेशकाः अपि सन्ति। तैः रोड मैप ऑन रामायण इति विषये एकः IKS आधारीकृत्य एकः पाठ्यक्रमः निर्मितः अस्ति। तद्विषये ते मार्गदर्शनं करिष्यन्ति। एतत् पुस्तकं रोड मैप ह्यः विमोचितमस्ति सभागृहे। सर्वेषां हस्तेपि तत् पुस्तकं दत्तमस्ति। अतः शोधच्छात्राः तद् अवलोकयन्तु। येन रामायणे भिन्नभिन्नाः IKS सम्बद्धाः ये विषयाः सन्ति ते सर्वेपि तत्र मार्गदर्शनरूपेण उपस्थापिताः सन्ति। तद्विषये मार्गदर्शनं कुर्वन्ति प्रोफेसर लजपति राय महाभागाः। संप्रार्थये।
जय श्रीराम। శుభోదయం అందరికీ కూడా. కెన్ ఐ స్పీక్ ఇన్ తెలుగు ఆర్ ఇంగ్లీష్? ఇంగ్లీష్ ఓకే. ఎవ్రీబడి నోస్ ఇంగ్లీష్. I am first of all grateful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Krishnamurthy garu, for having taken a lead on the front of Indian education, on the front of this Indian knowledge systems, and as an offshoot of our new education policy of 2020, because our Pradhan Mantri ji is very particular about infusing or integrating our Puranas, all that knowledge, all that Gnanam that is there in the Indian epics and Indian Puranas, they are to be integrated with the modern sciences. The modern sciences, so Gnanam, Vijnanam. If this Vijnanam is minus Gnanam, without Gnanam, it becomes dangerous. And so we have to prepare our young generations, future generations, with this perspective. And this is the idea of our new education policy. And now, anyway, all those things are very much known to all of you. And what I would like to make this mission success, the Indian knowledge mission success, and I want to dedicate myself to the cause of this IKS perspectives, as engineered by our Honorable Vice Chancellor. And this is an excellent platform for all of us to give our kind of cooperation through knowledge sharing, and we have to put our brains, heart, and soul together to make this IKS a grand success. So you can see this table. First of all, any mission can become successful only with the uh, uh, the participative dynamics of all the members, stakeholders involved in this IKS. The vice chancellors at the highest level, the deans, heads of the departments, the faculty, and the students. All of us have to come together. And this presentation, this is how Rama could succeed in getting back Sita and and conquered Lanka by killing Ravana. And how he could achieve this mission, it is only through team building. And to make this IKS very successful, we have to have this kind of team with all of us. So Manasa Vasa involvement is very much necessary, and all the faculty and all the deans, all the heads, and all the students also, you should come forward to understand what is this IKS. And our vice chancellor is also thinking of introducing this IKS, content in the form of syllabus for all of for various courses. And already we have done some work in Valmiki Research Center, and our Valmiki Research Center, for which I am director now, is affiliated to our National Sanskrit University, and we are just working according to the task best, to promote our Indian culture. And here, coming to the topics, you can see this and how this knowledge systems, collaborative management lessons from the Valmiki Ramayana. What I would like to tell you here is, see, you should have a common vision first. What is the common vision for all of us now? Promotion of IKS. So we have to put all our brains together in this particular, and this common vision, this common vision unites diversity. And we may be having different disciplines. You may be a psychologist, you may be a management scientist, one may be an engineer, and one may be doing MSc psychology, and another one is doing MA sociology. So different types of subjects are there in Indian universities. We are trying to link up the Ramayana episode, the principles of Ramayana, the values of Valmiki Ramayana, and we want to integrate them into the syllabus structure of every course. And even our new education policy also says 40% of your syllabus content should be IKS based. And this is compulsory. And even 40% and 2 credits are given for that. Almost 40 marks, I think you will get. 40 marks you will get. 2 credits are to be given. And it is again left to the discretion of the Dean's Council to decide how many can we increase a little more the credit structure, or follow the whatever credits that are mandated by our Government of India new education policy. So this common vision unites diversity. See in Ramayana what happened. Vanaras from diverse regions. Wanderers from diverse regions united after pledging allegiance to Sri Rama's mission to find Sita. And they are all from different, you find all kinds of natural elements, different kinds of even animals. Even Vanara is also an animal. Even all this such as Jambavanta, you find many people, even a small Udta, that is squirrels, they also participated. And even parrots participated. The entire nature was with Lord Rama, in finding, in locating Sita, and to win over that Dushman, that enemy Ravanasura. So this is what is called, we should have a shared vision, alliance, diverse teams. We may be having different disciplines. We may belong to different, faculties, but there may be some individual differences, but we should keep them aside and unite for the common cause, the common vision. This is very important. And that is, then only you will be able to strengthen the hands of our great Vice Chancellor. See, this is a, and uh, and our VC is very much determined, to take this mission very deep into the, system, and all of the participation of all of you is very, very important. So if you come to the next point, please raise that and table, please. Synergy. What is synergy through complementary strengths? This is very important. And for anything, we need synergy. And all of if all of us are just keep ourselves apart, definitely, synergy cannot be created. Synergy means this is synergy. If suppose if you keep the hand like this, they are separate. But if you just bring them together, then we will gain energy, and this is synergy. And this synergy we have to now create in the campus, and to take forward this IKS system, and cross-functional collaboration creates synergy. So it is not one individuals. All sciences, for example, in traditional universities, in Sanskrit University also, I suggest, sir, our VC sir, you may start such courses, special courses that integrates all this knowledge. Suppose even if you take BA, suppose BA honors, suppose normally what are the combinations, in the BA honors? There may be common subjects, literature subjects are there, English and other things, literature subjects are there, they are common to everyone. And for example, economics, politics, and geography. Suppose that is one combination, let us assume. And you make this economics, commerce, geography, you can link them to Ramayana. So I have prepared geography and Ramayana. I have prepared modules for Ramayana and psychology. In Ramayana, different roles are there. More than 60 roles, characters you can find in Ramayana. And they talk at different junctures during the deliberations. Suppose the state of mind of Dasharatha, when he was not able to tell Lord Rama to go into forest. He was just thinking over like, and what is the state of mind of Kaikeyi? And for example, what kind of theory of psychology you can link to that particular situation in Ramayana. Similarly, when Jambavanta was advising other Vanaras regarding the way, the mission towards Lanka to find and only Hanuman could do that, and others expressed their helplessness. So we have to know our strengths also, and what everyone can do and what everyone cannot do. And there's no problem if you can't do everything, but you can do something. That something is enough. This becomes energy. For all that something becomes like this, that becomes energy. And that is how Hanuman could go to Lanka and find Sita, and he paved the way for the war between Lord Rama and Ravanasura, and finally, so the strategic thinking, and we will discuss that point. So role clarity enhances cooperation. So in the university also, one should have role clarity, and what each and every professor in this institute, could do for this. And the second thing is communication and coordination. For example, you see continuous dialogue, reporting, and Hanuman's precise communication. Transparent communication enables coordination. Communication sustains collaboration. And if there is no communication between one department and other department regarding IKS, then how can we take this mission forward? This is a problem. So communication and coordination is very, very important. You can take again the same example from Ramayana. How this communication process went on during Ramayana. And you can read every sloka of all the 24,000 slokas of Valmiki Ramayana. You can easily find solutions for all your problems. And we have to make analysis. We have to make a very in-depth analysis. And there are complete solutions are there in Ramayana for every kind of problems mankind is facing. And the trust and mutual trust, for example, Rama trusted Vanaras. They trusted his leadership. Our Vice Chancellor is trusting your all of you, and you have to make him a successful leader. And you may become subsequently again a leader to carry this task forward. Understand? So we have to, first of all, before telling others, to do this, to do something in this regard of now the Indian knowledge systems. First of all, what is that we could do within the four walls of this university? I would like to tell. So this is next thing, and resilience through unity. What is resilience through unity? So during the process of this IKS and implementation of IKS, we may be facing some resilience. We may be facing certain challenges, but during these challenges, we have to be resilient. మీరు ఎలా ధైర్యంగా ఎదుర్కొంటారు? ఈ సిస్టమ్ని ముందు తీసుకెళ్ళడానికి మనకి మిగతా అపోజిషన్ కూడా ఉంది దేశంలో. దీన్ని ఎందుకు, వై షుడ్ వి ఇంప్లిమెంట్ దిస్ ఇండియన్ నాలెడ్జ్ సిస్టమ్స్? అండ్ so that is a political criticism, of course, but we have to think from the national perspectives and our ancient wisdom, and they are supreme. They are not inferior to anything. They are the most supreme things. We have to adhere to the principles of those knowledge systems. So if you can do this, definitely we can take this system forward. And this book, I think every one of you is holding this book. And because the time is less, I just tell you some page numbers. You can go through for example, you see the content first, page number 4. And in this page number 4, I have given complete picture of how do we have to go to, we can walk upon. You see the preface, and the IKS division of Ministry of Education, Government of India, has given 5 areas to this great university, to this National Sanskrit University, to work upon those areas. The first one is, it is animal husbandry, veterinary and animal husbandry, agriculture sector, political science, and economics, and strategic sciences. And these are the 5 areas that are interested to National Sanskrit University, to work upon these things. And you have to prepare the syllabus for that. You have to prepare content for that. And but sooner than later, our Honorable Vice Chancellor may implement this immediately as a course module, either as a special paper or part of the existing courses. Somehow that the deans have to decide. So you can see that the veterinary animal husbandry in Ramayana, how was it? But I have taken Ramayana. You can also take up the same thing for Mahabharata. You can, so these two, the main epics are Ramayana and Mahabharata. So these two great epics, we can start with these two things before we can go into other Puranas. So let us concentrate on this Ramayana first, and then Mahabharata also, since we have a lot of faculty. But our VRC is focusing on Valmiki Ramayana, and I have prepared a different syllabus for that, and under these 5 areas, and you may go through that. The syllabus also I have given, and the paper structure also I have given, and how many marks we have to give, how many credits we have to give, that you have to decide. And so chapter-wise analysis, if introducer as a course, I have given if introducer as a course. I have just given a roadmap. And if you want to introduce it as a course also, I have given how to go about. And for example, you see agriculture science in Valmiki Ramayana and insights for modern Indian knowledge systems, IKS. And this is, you can go to page number 12. Page number 12. I'm just going according to the topics given to your university only. That's all. Okay. So page number agriculture. Page number 12, you see that what is written there. So agriculture science in Valmiki Ramayana, insights for modern Indian knowledge systems. Okay. In this, see, agriculture is our culture. So agriculture is our culture. So therefore, in one of the UPSC examination, one candidate was asked the question. He is from agriculture family. he was qualified for interview in UPSC. So you just define agriculture in one sentence, the UPSC chairman asked. The candidate said, "Sir, agriculture is our culture." I copied his statement here. It's a wonderful depiction of our culture. So, agriculture as a pillar, now agriculture is our culture, and our culture is also the same thing. And most of the practices of our agricultural practices, they are having their bearings on our cultural system, Indian ancient cultural system. Okay, so the Ramayana repeatedly links the prosperity of a kingdom with fertile lands, abundant crops, and well-maintained irrigation systems. And during Ramayana also, whatever the modern irrigation systems and modern practices of agriculture and other things we are witnessing now, they were already there during Dasratha rule in Ayodhya. And these things are clearly known from the Valmiki exact slokas. I have not written here because this becomes very big, lengthy one. I'm only telling you. I know that the scholars and the other teachers, you have to. I can also guide them. You have to look at those slokas, put those slokas there, and give and ask the student to explain that sloka and how is it linked to agriculture. And this kind of exercise we have to do in the classroom. And project works also I have proposed. For each agriculture, animal husbandry, veterinary sciences, and strategic sciences, and economy and political science, and for everything, I have given even the kind of project works we can involve the students. And in other universities, I don't know what is happening here. In our universities, where I was working as vice chancellor, I used to give these topics as social projects. You compare even an engineering student also can do a project relating to Ramayana. There is no need that he should do project only relating to engineering. Engineering he can integrate with Ramayana. So how was civil engineering structures? How was civil engineering practices were there in Ramayana time? Okay. So a civil engineering student, he can integrate his knowledge of civil engineering with the practices of in Ramayana period. So for everything, even a geography student also can think of geographical issues. As a geography, where first started, see when Sita, this Jatayu, and he is the first person, he only told us the Sita, Ravanasura was taking Sita in this way, this direction, this direction, this direction, this Parvata, that Parvata, this thing. He first gave a map. And from India to Indonesia, Ramayana is spread. So, yeah. So you can find many things in Ramayana, crop cultivation and land use and irrigation and water management. Irrigation and water management in during Ayodhya, during Dasratha rule, and uh, and uh, and how the tanks and canals were maintained, were dug to ensure sufficient water supply for crops and animals. See, if you see, and the forest scenes in Valmiki Ramayana also often mention the streams and rivers used for irrigation and cattle watering, and reflecting integrated water and agricultural science. And all these points, all these points indicate that. So we are. It means that all sustainable development practices are already there even in Ayodhya, even in during Ramayana period. If you go through page number 13, 12 and 13, and whatever kind of sustainable development things we are boasting of now, they were already there. And and use of animals and agriculture. And how do you link animals and agriculture? Now what is happening in our rural side? And most of the farmers are now throwing away the animals. They are not interested. And the Sendriya Vyavasayam, that kind of these things are now they are bidding goodbye to that. and now we are going for more mechanization, more, uh, the modern fertilizers. And all these things, they are degenerating the fertility of our soils. So then, and this practice was not there. And in Ramayana period, and see what were practiced during Ramayana, and we could sustain ourselves from those 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 years until now, because we are able to survive now because of those sustainable practices practiced during the Ramayana period or Mahabharata period. And if you don't sustain those practices from here afterwards, and the next generations will suffer. And that is why we are introducing these Indian knowledge systems. We have to safeguard the fertility of our soil. We have to safeguard our water resources. And even see, all such things are depictions are given here. And here you have to also think of ethical perspective on agriculture. Ethical perspectives. And nowadays we are doing so many things. But what about the ethical perspectives of those things? Suppose governance. What is the ethical perspective of governance? What is the ethical purpose of industry? What is the ethical purpose of agriculture? The ethical purpose of industry. Now people seems to have realized it. Now we call it CSR, corporate social responsibility. That is the ethical purpose. And these things we are driving. Thanks to J.R.D. Tata, he proposed this kind of practice because he read Ramayana completely. He is aware of the values of Ramayana. So that is why we have to prepare our future generations, our students, And you can see in Ayodhya Kanda, King Dasharatha's kingdom is described as fertile with fields yielding abundant crops, well irrigated and rich in cattle. In Ayodhya kingdom was found rich in cattle, rich in fertility, rich in agriculture. But nowadays, we are going the reverse way. And if all our agriculture sector in India is now in a very dangerous situation, and our farmers are leaving agriculture sector, they are selling away their lands, and the real estate kind of things are coming up. And if this is going to happen at this present rate, in future, we are going to import food grains from other countries. And such a great country, India, having such a large quantum of ability of producing large quantum of food grains, now we may become net importers. We are now, see, now we have to safeguard our agriculture. And we have to see our farmers' interests are protected, their welfare is protected. And government is planning so many things, but they are not, they have to reach to the, at the ground level, to the real stakeholders. And you see, these are the lessons, you can again draw from Ramayana, either from Ayodhya Kanda, Balakanda, and also the Yuddha Kanda also, and even the Food Corporation of India, the food granaries, the FCI godowns, and this practice is derived from Ramayana. And Dasharatha, he used to maintain, use food grains stock to be used in war times, and highlighting crop management and preservation of techniques. Crop management, yesterday I was discussing with our friend, and see, for a particular crop has to be sown in a particular season. Then only the yielding would be high. If you just make yield, in some other season, which is contrary to the, the dynamics of that production of that particular crop, you will not get good yielding. So these are the points, these preservation techniques, high yielding possibility techniques, all such things, So anyway, this agriculture is given to your university by IKS division as a subject of study and persuasion. I have prepared this, and you can now see that you can go to the page number. I just give one example, other things you can read. Okay, you just go to the page number 14. Please go through. And this is a course duration I have given. 6 to 8 months course, you can plan for a certificate course or a diploma course or an add-on course or as a special paper in any one of the for B or big other subjects, you can introduce at an appropriate juncture, and so that you see that this is 6 to 8 months course, and this is about hybrid learning in agriculture. And this is for senior school students, college students, and learners interested in traditional knowledge, agriculture, and ancient Indian practices. And suppose in Tirupati area, in Chitturu districts, and for rural students also, you can plan this program, and we may introduce this even in the schools curriculum also, because most of our school children in government schools particularly, even in corporate schools also, they hail from agricultural background. So if these people are, are taught about the things that are there with reference to Ramayana, you have to speak up. In the classroom, you have to utter Ramayana and Rama, that's all. Yes, there is nothing wrong in that, because people may, some people may oppose it, because ours is a secular country, you should not speak up. So in Constitution of India, in part 3 of India's constitution, in the fundamental rights page is there, Indian constitution. And there is a clear picture of Lord Rama and with his with his Parivaram returning back from Lanka to Ayodhya. It is there in Indian constitution. In what way it negates the spirit of constitution? Because Rama is such a personality, you cannot compare him with any other personality of the world. And he is a personality of the world. He is a person, he is the best example of a human being. And he never declared himself as God. We made him God because he has all those qualities. So that is why you can see this. And I have given course objectives also. Dean sir, please see. Course objectives. And to explore agricultural references and practices described in the Valmiki Ramayana, that you can in the syllabus also we can incorporate this content, and to derive sustainable agricultural practices and ethical perspectives from ancient texts like Ramayana. So let us reframe our syllabus with this kind of objective, with this kind of content, so that our future generations, I have given chapter-wise syllabus structure also, introduction to agriculture in Ramayana, and general introduction about India's agriculture, and crop cultivation and land use, irrigation and water management in Ramayana and now, and what is happening now, and does the practice of today have any relevance to the practices in Ramayana period? That also have given. And animal husbandry and agriculture, chapter 4 is there. Forest agriculture and sustainable foraging is there in chapter 5. And I told you agriculture is our culture. Chapter 6, festivals, rituals, and agricultural cycles. And this is completely our culture-based content in the syllabus. So let us try to implement, and also ethical and governance perspectives on agriculture. What is the king's role in the protection of agriculture, in the protection of farmers? And now what is the role of our Prime Minister or our Chief Minister or our administrators in the protection of agriculturists of this country? Because we have to survive our agriculture sector now. And if we fail in this, the entire nation will fail in the years to come. And during Corona period, the only country in the world that could sustain itself on a self strength basis, that is India only, because of our agriculture. The countries which mostly depended on industrial sector, their GDP had fallen. But whereas we could even increase our GDP even during Corona period, comparatively with other countries. So that is the greatness of our culture, agriculture. So let us see that how best we can through, and the university interventions are very much required for this. And it is our students, our faculty, have to come forward to infuse these ideas into the brains of our young generations. And then only these concepts, will survive. And I have given some case studies also in chapter 8, case studies from Valmiki Ramayana, and you can see Ayodhya Kanda, Balakanda, Yuddha Kanda, and in Ayodhya Kanda you find most of the information relating to fertile lands, irrigation, and cattle management. In Balakanda, you find forest life and subsistence practices of Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana. In Yuddhakanda, you find granaries, crop storage, and wartime agriculture. Wartime agriculture. And regarding strategic sciences, also I have mentioned one point. Suppose during Mahabharata, when Abhimanya went into the battlefield, he was entangled in that Padma Yoga, could not come back. And why not our Prime Minister think of Padma Yoham, and so that allow the enemies to come deep into India and put them off? It's a strategic science. See, that is how you can plan your astras, shastras, everything that are mentioned in Mahabharata or Ramayana. They're all the same kind of formulas that are used by the modern scientists also. And it is the Germans, who could conquer and who could, take away our formulas into their country, and they even used them in the preparation of hydrogen and nitrogen bombs. In Sanskrit first, and every one of us, they are learning our Sanskrit, but we don't learn Sanskrit. Yeah, I too, because I was never taught Sanskrit. See, at least let us teach Sanskrit for the next generation. See that because they find those formulas only in Sanskrit language. So they learned Sanskrit first and took away those formulas. And most of the Tadapatras we have lost. And we have only I think we have only 10% of Tadapatras that were there earlier in our ancient wisdom system. 90% were almost either lost or theft away by other countries. So anyway, this is what is called, and you're coming to the next page, page number 19, strategic sciences I have given. And in strategic ethics also I have given. And our sir is here, diplomat, and diplomatic strategy. That is there in this chapter. And our strategic sciences, page number 19, and come to the page number 20. And there in that book, planning and managing relations to influence other parties peacefully or strategically. Either you have to get them into your fold through peace or in a strategic manner. If peace does not work, there is another strategy. So these negotiation, mediation, psychological influence, and persuasion, peace treaties, and conflict resolution, all such things are there in. Even Angada was sent as a Rayabari for Rayabharam to Ravanasura. What happened? It did not work out. Then, and how strategically Lord Hanuman thought, actually he did not think of that Lanka Dahanam, but he thought that better we should cause some damage to the enemy so that the final task for Lord Rama becomes easier. So almost he finished 30 to 40% of the enemy's strength through that Lanka Dahanam process, and made the task of Lord Rama, his leader, easier. This is strategic thinking again. So I don't know. Can we think on these lines? This is our deliberation now. And so how to manage resources effectively to support strategic objectives, and so what kind of resource allocation, how Dasaratha used to allocate defense allocations, defense allocation, and for spending certain budget for the army and the strategic issues. All such things I have given, and all these things can be a beacon light, guiding lights for our future engagement with IKS. And there are many points. If I cannot take the time. I have already taken a lot of time from I would like to learn more from other people who are here, who are better known about the concepts. And I thank our Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Ram. Jai Sri Ram.
चिरन्मीलितं येन अभी तक हम अंधेरे में रहे.
At UG and PG level. And yes, thank you. And secondly, I have introduced, along with my colleagues here, we have introduced Prachina Bharatiya Krishi Vijnanam for 100 marks. 100 marks we have. And there, one point, what I always feel about what we are telling is just I'm opening questions actually,
Definitely, sir.
and I also repeatedly have this problem. Now, what we are telling, many modern concepts are there in the ancient texts, whether Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas, whatever it is. To that extent of the history of ideas are concerned, definitely we have a great contribution to the world. That means many modern concepts are there. But using these concepts in the modern time, what is that situation is something fuzzy actually, because we always claim that we are the first. That is no doubt,
we
because
have
the
to-
references are
We
there.
have to mainly think of the sustainability issues. You see, the practices of agriculture during those times, Ramayana times, they are having a sustainable nature. Whereas those things now we are leaving and we are going for a different kind of practices in agriculture sector. That is leading to the problem of our farmers are they are leaving our agriculture sector, and that is one problem. The main problem here is the crop rotation, the fertility, land fertility, and the kind of irrigation system, because irrigation systems are completely nature based, and now we are spoiling nature. And once nature is becoming weak, the other elements of nature are becoming weak, then the sustainability of water bodies and other things also is becoming a question now. And how to now overcome that problem? And so why I am mentioning all those things, and they were very much there, and to the best satisfaction of the people living in those times. Whereas now we are spoiling that nature, and better we do not deviate from the earlier practices and see that sustainability issues are preserved.
Okay, sir. Very nice of you. So just I will not take much time. I'm talking with. So one thing is that just 1 week back, one of my students, she has submitted one PhD thesis on Ramayane Vriksha Visheshaha, trees in Ramayana. Okay. And, most of the time, what happens? They're telling in Ayodhya Kanda, in Balakanda, in Kishkinda Kanda, in Sundara Kanda, these trees are there. For example, Ashokavanika. So many trees are mentioned. Now I asked, suppose their trees are there, so what? So what?
Sir,
Okay, good,
Professor,
very happy.
actually-
But the point is,
Sir,
so what
sir.
is there?
आचार्यः
We
अस्मिन्
can
विषये
can
न
have
न
a-
अत्र न
Yeah,
मम
you are-
प्रश्नः अन्यथा मा चिन्तयतु मम अभिप्रायः अयमस्ति तत् रामायणे एतावन्तः वृक्षाः तत्र निर्दिष्टाः वर्तन्ते उल्लेखः वर्तते सुचारुरूपेण तत्र वाल्मीकिना तेषां तत्र वर्णनं कृतं तत्र अध्ययनार्थं पठनार्थं तत्र सुन्दरं भवति अनेन आधुनिकः कश्चन मां पृच्छति चेत् भोः तत्र अतीव तत्र अनेन
गणनं कृतं तावदेव
केवलं
एते वृक्षाः रामायणे सन्ति
एते वृक्षाः तत्र पुनः तर्हि मया
वस्तुतः अहं कथयामि अस्मिन् विषये अस्माकं रङ्गाचार्याः सहमताः भवन्ति रामायणे तत्र इक्ष्वाकूणाम् एकः वंशवृक्षः अस्ति कः वंशवृक्षः कोविदारः कोविदारः कुत्र अस्ति इति वयं न जानीमः किन्तु अस्माकमेव प्राङ्गणे अस्ति सः कोविदारः इति न ज्ञायते एवं रूपेण यदि कुर्मः अस्माकं रिलेशन् बिट्वीन् वर्ड्स एंड थिंग्स ये तो बीता जा रहा है मैंने उसको पहचानने में मुश्किल होता है मैंने पूछा कि आर्टिकल्चर वाले से ये वृक्ष है कैसा होता है इसमें देखा तो वो बोटानिकल नेम लेकर के इसको दिखाया अरे ये सब कुछ है हमारे यहाँ शास्त्रीय नाम से। अभी क्या है कि रामायण के नाम से नहीं जानते, शास्त्रीय नाम से हो गया। मैंने इसका कैसे मैंने ये इन वृक्षों का कभी ये नौबत आ जाएगी, ये वृक्ष कहाँ है, और ये सब कुछ इन्होंने जो कोर्स के रूप में बनाया आपके थीसिस का, यही महत्व है।
न न अत्र प्रायः तत्र अस्माकं पार्श्वे एव भवति।
What he mentioned, they are very valid points, and I just preserved those points, for later discussion, but
Okay.
not during this discussion. And exclusively myself and your faculty would sit together, and I could answer all your questions and how to link up those issues. I have but lot of information with me. Everything is possible. And regarding two subjects, I have already, beyond doubt, I have prepared a syllabus, everything, even content also. That is political science and public administration and MA psychology. For these three, and MA sociology also. For these four areas, all such doubts which you expressed, you will not express any doubts if you read those things. But for agriculture, I admit that I need to enhance some more.
And I will tell you the answer also. Now, when Ramayana, Puranas, Mahabharata are coming, when you are talking of human sciences, psychology, human sciences, human values, as far as the language, the linguistics, and the social sciences are concerned, definitely this is the 100% valid document.
Yes.
But when it is coming to science, when I am talking of botany, when I am talking of zoology, it is a big problem. जैसे सर ने अभी बताया, कोविदार तो हमारे बगल में है, लेकिन हम नहीं जानते हैं।
When this subject is entrusted to your university by IKS division agriculture, sir, for agriculture, we have to do a lot of research. We don't have sufficient content to link this subject with Ramayana, but some linkages we can develop, but may not be to the full extent. Sir, you take another subject instead of agriculture, and you ask IKS division to give another subject, and so that we can do 100%. But for agriculture, these issues are concerned, not much relevant. But we have to analyze. We have to think tank. Think tank only can do that.
I will tell you one more thing. I will stop with this talk. Now, what I told that, I asked my student, तत्र स विषयः अत्यन्त रमणीयः आसीत्, सर अवश्यमेव तत्र अमुं विषयम् अधिकृत्य शोधकार्यं करोमि इति तया उक्तं, तया कार्यमपि सम्पादितं. 222 trees are not only trees, गुल्म, तत्र पुनः वृक्षाः, पादपाः, एवं रूपेण तत्र भेदाः सन्ति, तान् विषयान् अधिकृत्य तया कार्यं कृतं. Then I asked, okay, now what next? Then I told, you should attack a problem when you are doing a research. काचित् समस्या अस्ति, समस्यायाः समाधानार्थं प्रयत्नः विधेयः, तदेव खलु तत्र रिसर्च् इत्यस्य आशयः. तर्हि then I told, no, this is not. You have done this work, that's good. Now, practically, what is the thing? There are 4 aushadhis are mentioned. Okay, so Hanuma goes and gets. Have you thought about that? Can we actually find them out? Is it possible? Then we have scanned the entire literature, and in some botanists from Himalayan region, they have told that these are the 4 Mrata Sanjeevani, Vishalyakarani, and all this. They have told that these could be the they went directly to Himalayas, and Dronagiri is there one area where these things are told. Huh? Ayurveda. Sushan chapter. Sushan chapter akkadiki kelli తీసుకుమని. కాబట్టి అక్కడ
Sanjeevani Parvata and that those plant life that Lord Hanuman brought, Lakshmana's Mursa time, fainted during the war, and they have there is a source, because now we have to do a lot of research in that area, and already lot of research, botany professors are doing a lot of research in this. There are several botany professors, who have established the truth that how those plants brought by through Sanjeevani Parvata, by Lord Hanuman, worked during war time, and even घायल होता है ना war time में. So in war mein, even instant solution like that. See, when during cricket game, when our players got hit, suddenly one doctor comes and you know what medicine they are using? They are using Ayurveda. And these things have the source. The only thing is we have to now put our brains and do some brainstorming, and let us try to develop. And whatever deficiencies are there, now everything is possible. Nothing is impossible.
भस्मतात कुर्तात सिखी यदि सुखमस्ति चेत् तस्य शिखी अग्निदेवः।
ये एटिमोलॉजी आप देखिए, कुछ वृक्षों का ऐसे नाम होते हैं, इसी में जो है जैसे एग्रीकल्चरल उसमें है, जैसे सहकार है, सहकार एक वृक्ष आम्रस्य सहकार इति कथमागतः माने एकस्य वृक्षस्य अत्र अंटु अंटां కదా దాన్ని ఏమంటారు అంటు వేస్తాం కదా అంటు వేయడం